What is good, YouTube? It's your boy OG Namboy back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over a team that was showcased on Chillis FM's channel, and he used this team to get an 18-0 streak, which was his highest streak of all time, and also hit legend. So definitely check out his video on this team if you're looking to climb some elo and want to learn how to play this team in depth, as he has a pretty long video where he explains a lot of the matchups, and it's definitely going to be more in-depth than my video here on this team. But yeah, without further ado, let's see how well I am able to do with this team here. So these are my first sets with this team, and first match here we have a Swampert lead, so that's obviously very positive for Gyarados. So they swap into an Obstagoon here, and now we're in a pretty comfortable position since we should be able to maintain switch if we want to. But I actually kind of want a shield here, since I know that both my Gyarados and my Trevenant do very well against the Swampert, so switch isn't terribly necessary. And also I do anticipate that they have a Trevenant in the back, since I have seen this team like through my other battles before, so kind of a little bit of recognition there on my part. So either way, we're in a pretty good position now since we are shield up, and they bring in their Trevenant. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Seed Bomb bait, since I feel like the Shadow Ball is a little bit unnecessary here, since even if they don't shield this move, we can double shield our Trevenant and then farm them all the way down, and we should have a lot of energy ready for the Swampert that is lurking in the back. So the opponent kind of recognizes they're in a bit of trouble there, and they concede the match. So next match here we have an Escavalier lead, and normally there is a Dragonite in the back with the Escavalier, with one of the safe swap options being like Alolan Muck, which Rise to Occasion featured, the Gyarados, which Jongus featured, or just some other dragon type. So pretty popular team in this meta right now, and they go for a Mega Horn, which actually hurts a lot. So they bring in the Dragonite. I'm going to stay in here a little bit just to chip down the Dragonite, since I don't want to bring my Escav in here, just in the event that they do have an Alolan Muck in the back. So I would want to save my Escavalier for that. And now that they're a little bit chipped up, I'm going to bring my Trevenant in here, and I'm going to throw the Seed Bomb just so I don't take more Dragon Breath damage, because as you can see here, we're already half health, and if we decide to farm them all the way down, we would have been pretty low. And let's see what the opponent decides to bring back in here. And they bring in the Escavalier, so I'm just going to go for the Seed Bomb, and that should put them in a range where I can farm them down without having to take a move. And they bring in the Kingdra, so I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball, since there's really no point in baiting here. Like, if they don't shield, it's going to do a lot of damage, and if they do shield, then we're going to be put in the situation that we are right here, which is we have our Escavalier, which can just throw a Mega Horn and basically take them out in one shot. So would have been a little bit stickier if I went for the bait and they didn't shield, since I would have to more or less get to 2 moves on my Escav, since they would still have their shield left. So now they throw the move, we're able to sneak in our counter, and we win that game there. So GG's to that opponent. Next match we have a Lantern lead, and of course when I play this team I have to face my first Lantern that I've seen this whole time that I've been playing in the Ultra League Premier Classic. But they swap in their Drapion to meet my Trevenant, and this puts us in a pretty not solid position at all. Maybe I should have swapped in my Escav here, but I actually didn't know what they had the back. So they actually end up having double Dark Poisons. So I figured that my Escav here is going to be very useful, so I'm going to bring my Gyarados in here and kind of just use it to soak up damage, as it's going to be pretty useless against the Lantern there. So now it's just all up to my Escav here. We still have a chance, depending on how they decide to play this matchup here. And a lot of times the Alolan Mucks like to bait, so that's kind of what I'm relying on here. Like, I have to call a bait in order to win this match here, but they go straight for the Dark Pulse. And now it's basically over, since I need 2 drill runs to take out the Lantern, and then they also have 2 shields, so I basically have to get 4 of them before they farm me all the way down with the Sparks. So maybe could have won this match if I went into my Escav instead and then won, you know, the secondary matchup, or just taken out the like Lantern here, because then I would have the Trevenant ready for the Lantern in the back, but I didn't know what they had, so I decided to safe swap the Trevenant, which ended up being pretty costly as the Trevenant didn't have anywhere to go in that match, and yeah, we end up losing that one. So next match here, we have a Walrein lead, and this isn't the greatest lead for Gyarados either, since 2 Icicle Spears will just about take out a Gyarados, especially a Shadow Walrein. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go. Like, really no point in shielding it since it's like the first move. But I'm trying to get them to no shield this move, but they actually don't shield it, which is pretty interesting to me since normally people tend to shield the second crunch just because the first one has a chance for a debuff. But I'm going to go ahead and shield that move just to see if I can get this crunch off. But the opponent decides to shield that one as well, and they make an interesting move and they swap into their Trevenant, which I found pretty interesting since they could have farmed me all the way down before I could have gotten to another move on my Gyarados that would have threatened their like KOing their Walrein. But they bring in the Trevenant. I swap pretty late, which is a little bit costly here, but maybe not, since I don't think I could have farmed up to a like Seed Bomb to threaten this Walrein here. So we're gonna get taken out regardless by the Walrein. And now I'm gonna come in here with my Escav here and attempt to farm this Walrein all the way down, but they do get to a move, and this actually kind of helps them since now their switch clock is up and they're able to swap into the Escav here. So I'm going to be able to get to like this drill run here, but it doesn't quite do enough, and I'm going to attempt to catch their Mud Bomb, but as you can see, maybe like the opponent paused a little bit there, and they didn't throw their move. They were waiting to see if I like threw a counter first before throwing, and since they anticipated my catch, they end up winning that match there. So final match, we are met with a Trevenant lead, and we win this in the zero shields, excuse me, as Chillis like taught me in his video. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay the 0 shield scenario out, and thankfully for us they actually bait, which makes this pretty good for us here. So I'm gonna get this crunch, which is likely gonna draw a shield. I was kind of fishing for the debuff, but now they're going to throw another move. I'm going to shield this just so I can attempt to get a second crunch off and maybe threaten their last shield, but they swap into their Walrein, and then I meet them with an Escav, and they quit out of the game there. But honestly, it wasn't even over yet. Like, they could have thrown an Earthquake at my Escav, which I most likely wouldn't have shielded, and they might have had some play there. So like, they could have farmed me down with their Trevenant, had some energy ready for my Trevenant or my Gyarados. So never give up too early, guys. You know, I know it's tempting sometimes, like you're tilted and you get countered on the lead in the swap a little bit, and you're just like, geez, like I just want to get out of here. But yeah, that's all for today's video. Definitely check out Chillis FM's video on this team. Once again, the link for that will be in the description. And yeah, that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also submit your battles in the link in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one.